We're going to continue to turn standard form into vertex form by completing the square. Standard form is our usual y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form is y equals x minus h squared plus a. In the next lesson, we're going to be graphing this, but right now we're just going to get it into this form. There's 4 steps that we use. Our first step is factoring out our a. Now, with letter C, it's really easy because in this case, the a value is 1, so we get to skip the first step. We're going straight to finding our new c value. And if you remember from before, how we find our c value is we take our b value, we divide it by 2 and square it. In this case, it's negative 12. So we go negative 12 over 2 squared. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. Squared is 36. That means we're going to add a 36 on both sides. Now, our next step is we're going to factor. We're looking for 2 numbers that multiply together, give us 36, add up to negative 12. Remember, if we're doing this correctly, it's always the same number. In this case, it's negative 6. So what we have is y plus 36 equals x minus 6 squared, because there's 2 of them, minus 7. Our last step is the easiest. We're going to get the y by itself, so I'm subtracting 36 on both sides. And I get y equals x minus 6 squared minus 43. Now, looking at our last example, this one's a little bit more challenging because we have the 2 in the front. Now, remember, when we're factoring out the 2, we're just looking at our first 2 terms, not all our terms. So we factor out a 2. And we go to finding our new c value. We're going to take our b value. We're dividing it by 2, and we square it. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Now, if you're looking closely, what I'm doing is I'm adding a 4 on the right-hand side. But on the left-hand side, I'm adding an 8. Now, the reason that I'm doing that is because this 4 right here is inside a parenthesis. And outside the parenthesis is a 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And that's why there's an 8 on this side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor. I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply together, give me 4, and add up to 4. And once again, if I'm doing it correctly, the numbers are going to be the same. Since they're the same, I'm going to write a square binomial. That's why it's called completing the square, because we're creating a square binomial. Then the easiest step is I subtract the 8. And when I subtract the 8, negative 15 minus 8 gives me negative 20.